better.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Stretching is just so nice.
I
you know
know.
those stretches when you just fully feel like, when you see a dog stretch or like a cat, I guess, or just any sort of animal, and they're just like fully in it. And do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they put their butt up, they put their arms out, they lean back into it. I do that sometimes in airports.
I know. It's really
I know. You
embarrassing.
do it in public, which is bad.
So
Man.
I was explaining to somebody at SR how weird your dad is in public with his stretching, and he's just like, he thinks it's not noticeable, and it's hilarious.
I think it's noticeable. I think you don't care.
That's it.
Well, that's true too. But I think
think-
he used to think
here's
that
what I think
nobody knew
happens.
what was going on. That it's like, oh no, I'm just reaching down to pick up this pen.
I think when I'm stretching in public, people are thinking, that guy must be so confident that he can stretch in public without worrying about what people think and people think. And I wish I could do that too, because that looks amazing. Maybe I should stretch more. And then they go home and they stretch. And I think I'm promoting flexibility, worldwide flexibility, by just demonstrating that it's okay to flex. It's okay to stretch. And you know what, Maggie? A flexible world is a happy world. It's an open world.
I don't know if that's the solution.
People they become more loving and tolerant of one another if they have a little bit more range of motion. Because range of motion equals range of emotion.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I don't know. I was buying it. I'm
selling
thinking,
it.
you're right. Like, like how when somebody yawns, if somebody yawns and then like you yawn, like if you see somebody stretch, it makes you want to stretch, but you usually don't because of self,
I bet.
awareness.
Yes. And I bet our podcast listeners right now are just feeling like they want to stretch.
I know.
They're
Yes.
stretching right now.
Everybody
They're reaching their
have a good
arms
stretch while
way
we
up above
roll
your head.
the intro music.
Learn your. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Roll the intro music. Good job, honey.
Mags and Dads, wholesome chaos. Mags and Dads, wholesome chaos.
See now, doesn't that feel so much better? Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a great week. This is Wholesome Chaos with Maggie Thurman. And this is where the Thurman family talks about what's going on in our lives.
I don't know why he only mentioned my name.
And Mom Thurman.
And Mom
And
Thurman.
Chilia Thurman.
Well, I said the Thurman family. This is where the Thurman family talks about what's going on. Talk about our opportunities and challenges, and we try to figure it out. And in the process, hopefully we make you laugh and help you figure it out as well.
It's funny talking about stretching. I was at something last night, and it was like it was actually beautiful. It was Lexi Jade performed with a 5-piece or a 4-piece orchestra. No, quartet.
Quartet.
Just
String instruments?
A quartet, string instruments, and it was really, really beautiful and fun. But the venue is like a standing room kind of area, so we were all standing. And after her set, we all just looked around and we were like, "How's everyone's lower back feeling?" And we all agreed it was like very compressed, and we were all in a lot of pain.
What if there's like a way that you can stretch without even moving? Just by like, what you're doing is you're standing like really super tall, like you're elongating your spine while you're flexing certain muscles in certain directions and other muscles in other directions, and nobody even knows you're doing it.
While the quartet's playing.
That's next level. That is totally next level. But that's great. Yeah, I felt like we had to stretch.
Is great, not the pain in the back.
Well, right.
Yeah.
I feel like we stretched our minds this week and learned a ton. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. And yeah, it's been good. It's been weird in LA with the weather and such, right?
Oh my gosh, no, it's like actually been terrible. Like not for me personally, but it's been like tragic for Southern California.
Really? I haven't heard about the devastation, like homes collapsing and things.
Homes, people, like
Oh no.
it's been so bad. There's been like roofs caved in all around like near where I live and stuff. It didn't really affect me. I haven't really been going places. I've been home a lot this past week. But no, it was pretty devastating for Southern California with all the rain and the winds.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, didn't you say a Chipotle restaurant collapsed near you because of the rain yesterday?
Yeah, they're like
That's
temporarily
so
closed
wild.
because the roof caved in from the rain.
I did a speech for Chipotle today
Yeah.
Really?
in our studio.
Yeah.
Did they
for
give
the-
you one of those like unlimited Chipotle cards?
I
No.
wish.
But coincidentally, we had eaten it the day before, and I had leftovers that I finished
Yeah.
up today.
That's
I love
part of
Chipotle.
preparing for my speeches involves eating if they're a food company.
Yeah, that's
or
a tax
engaging in whatever
write-off.
services they do.
Yeah, well, we eat Chipotle regularly anyway.
Yeah, that's true. We eat the heck out of Chipotle, which I told them. I told them that in my speech today. Yeah, but it was a studio speech, a digital speech, and a pre-record, and it went pretty well. But I didn't mention the roof collapsing. I'm sure this is the team that deals with all the real estate and building and construction, so I'm sure they were very well aware of it.
Yeah. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Rose Bowl, right? The games
Yes.
and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, once a month, the Rose Bowl does a flea market, which is like a giant, kind of overwhelming flea market. And you have to pay to get in, which I think I've said this before publicly.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate the whole idea of, oh, you're going to go buy something? Okay, just pay to get in before you pay more money to buy stuff. I think that's so dumb.
Cover charge.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on if once you get in, you know that it is exceptional deals.
Plus all the entertainment.
But
they have
tell
like
us what-
they have like
yeah.
strolling performers
Yeah,
and
so if it's-
free food for everybody, and like it's like a
No.
concert in there, right? It's
No,
like all,
you have to
It's
pay
like a
for
Renaissance
everything.
fair. There's jousting.
okay.
You have to pay
Never
for
mind.
everything. But my friend Bree had 2 free tickets because the last time they went, it
What
was
do they
like
charge?
raining.
How much do they charge?
It depends on what time you go. There's like an
Okay.
early bird special, which is like $10 or something, and then I think it goes up to 20. Which is a lot. Like if I already spend $20 to get in somewhere, I don't want to spend any more money.
Yeah.
Like I'm upset. But no, we had free tickets, so I was like, okay, great idea. We went really early. I woke up at around 6, and it was fun. It was good. We found a lot of good deals. I posted like a little haul of it on TikTok. I found some pieces I really, really liked. But Bree, my friend, also bought a ton of stuff. And we had these 2 giant...
And you wear all her clothes, so that's cool. So you have double load for you.
I don't wear Bree's clothes.
Oh, sorry. Silly. me.
I don't take her clothes. But we had 2 giant plastic bags, and I kind of had one over my shoulder, and she had another over her shoulder, and I had another bag. And she was holding something out. She was holding my water bottle because I couldn't because I had 2 bags. And we, on our way out, we left probably around 9 a.m. Probably like almost 10 a.m. And we're walking out, struggling with these bags to get back to my car. And like literally every 40 seconds probably, we like stopped and set them down. Our backs were hurting so bad. It wasn't like we could even really help each other. Because each one of us had to carry one of these giant bags. And I have like pictures of these bags and everything. I'm sure we can put in the YouTube version
yeah.
of this.
I mean, it was crazy. I saw the TikTok video with the haul. I mean,
Yeah.
great clothes. You look super cute.
I love those clothes.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with what I got. But we finally got back to my car, got everything in. It was good. Flash forward to last night at this concert thing. Met some really cool people who came up and kind of knew my videos and knew who I was, and we had some really good conversations. And this one girl, her name's Olivia, she was so sweet. She said to me, she was like, I actually saw you at the Rose Bowl flea market. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way. I wish you would have come and said hi. That would have been so fun. And she looks at me and she goes, I almost did, but I saw you were really struggling with your bags. And she was like, I didn't know if I should help you or what was going on. And I was like, no freaking way. Like my back still hurts from that day. And so I called Bree later that night and I told her the story and she was cackling because it was such a vulnerable, rough moment for us. And Bree even said, she was like, I knew people were watching. She was like, I knew people were pitying us and laughing at us. And I told her, I was like, that's my issue, is I'm so oblivious. I don't notice anything except what I'm doing.
you get that from
That's
me.
funny. Yeah, so those people who paid $20 to get in, you provided their $20 worth of entertainment.
Yeah.
So you did good.
Yeah, you see, you were the strolling entertainer. No, I want to make a case for why that $20 is whatever $10, whatever the admission is probably good. You bought so many clothes, and I know that you got great deals, and you saved a ton of money. I mean, not that you would have bought all that stuff exactly in the store and paid full price, but you got some really great deals, right? So you probably made it up financially. But besides that, like thrifting, I know for you is like entertainment because it's like the hunt and the surprise and also the feeling, right? Of not buying new like disposable clothes, but doing something that's better for the environment by buying something previously owned, right?
Yes, but I don't like the process of thrifting. I'd prefer it if it can be kind of exhausting. Same thing with normal shopping. It's just it's tiring. I'd prefer if somebody just knew me and told me what to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned Olivia. It made me very aware of something. I think I had a bad comment interaction. I feel very self-conscious and guilty about it yesterday. It was this video that I posted of there was a question that was asked, and someone asked, do you ever get recognized? Like, how has TikTok fame affected your speaking career? That was a question. Mm-hmm. And so I did this short little video of saying, yep, I'm a speaker, and I showed some videos of that. And since, Maggie's thing blew up and our push the pool videos and everything like that, I get recognized, and people either will see that and say, hey, I know you're a speaker, could we talk to you about our event? Rarely that happens. But most often people come up and they just say, we love watching your TikToks, and we have a little interaction. It's great. And I said, so anytime you see us out there, come say hello. Love those moments, And it's this one girl, she replied, she said, I see you I think we live in kind of the same area, but I always feel hesitant to come up and say hello. You seem so nice. And I replied and I said, yeah, absolutely. As long as you're not a stalker. And I did a smiley, laughy face. I was a joke. I did a smiley, laughy face. And she deleted the comment. I feel like I made her feel self-conscious.
Oh, no.
That's such a weird thing to say, Dad.
I was being funny. I was trying to be funny. So if you're listening to this, I don't know your name, but I'm really sorry. Well, what happened was she did that comment, or I said that, haha. And then she was like, oh my gosh, no, never. I wouldn't think of that. I just whatever. And then someone else said, yeah, exactly what a stalker would say. And so it was going down that road. And I'm sure at that point,
which I think is funny.
It was funny. It was all in fun. And I think it was just, I hope I didn't, upset you.
Yeah.
Man.
But no, we were in Phoenix this week with our Speakers Roundtable friends, including Jay Bear, who's on TikTok, who does tequila taste tests and education, Tequila Jay, Steve Spangler, the science wizard, who's awesome and amazing and also on TikTok, and everyone else. And we learned about a lot of things, specifically Chat GPT. Maggie, do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. So you know what artificial intelligence is, AI, the idea that computers can help us in all these different ways and already do. And in that whole realm, there's this category of AI technologies called generative AI. So they can create songs like text things, video images, or still images, and just they produce things by looking at other samples and then understanding it to the level of, they don't have full consciousness, obviously, but they do have a way to work through the data and to give you what you're looking for. And it's gotten really, really good.
Extremely rapidly.
Really, really good. And so Chat GPT is this open AI, which means it's free. And it's a tool. It's the fastest growing technology, the quickest adopted technology ever. And basically you go there and you download it, you create a program, an account. Yeah. And then you interact with it and query it. You ask it questions, but not like a Google search. You're you could have it write something for you. You could, people are using this, and there's a big issue right now in education.
Yeah.
Because people are literally going in there and saying, write me a high school essay for Great Gatsby book review. and get a B plus. Like I don't want a perfect score there, whatever. And it will do it, and it comes out, and it's better than what you would write, and it's like instantaneous. It writes it in seconds. That type of thing. And so we saw these demos. So are you with me on this? You following all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Exciting and terrifying.
Yeah, I think it can be very, very dangerous for sure.
Right? I mean, because that's the thing is when you start to see how good it can get, we're all speakers. So people are like, well, you could have it write articles on your subject. You could have it look at, and right now there's a version, what the version we're in is 3.0 of Chat GPT. And 4.0 is like coming right around the corner. And that will be like 1,000 times like more connected. So it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, you can have it find recipes for you and meal plans and then source all the ingredients and do shopping lists and answer any questions you want.
Yeah, I actually, because I'm writing our murder mystery that Schwartz and I did for years. Actually, even did it last year, not last year, 2021. I'm rewriting one of our mysteries as a stage play. And so I did a prompt and said, like, write the opening scene of a Christmas holiday mystery, and a few other things. And then it did. In the style of Noises Off. So it immediately created.
Was it good?
Zany little olive. It was cute.
That's actually terrifying.
It is, but it was so clearly Noises Off. It was like, wow, this is like plagiarism for sure.
It's kind of similar. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was fun as just a little fun thing to do to see what it would say. It was amusing, but I would never, I'm a writer, so I don't want a computer writing for me, but I did want to see how good of a writer this AI was, and it's going to just get better, sadly.
But is this not like so mirroring like the Industrial Revolution and when like so many human jobs became irrelevant because machines were then capable of doing it, and like manpower wasn't enough, and now it's like, oh, man's intelligence is even like not necessary in certain situations. That's terrifying. We should just stop and call it quits on that.
Well, but on the other hand, if you think about the progress that can be made in terms of science and medicine, that's the truly exciting thing for me.
Let's just keep it there, but like let entertainment be us. Exactly.
Let's not lose our humanity.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's easy to go to that scenario, and in many ways, it's inevitable because it's better today than it was yesterday because the queries you're putting into it are making it smarter, teaching it more about how you solve problems, and you don't just ask it. You can just type in a general query, but then you learn to get really specific, and this is what we were learning and saying, like, act as if you're a Hollywood producer. And you pitch and write a pitch for a film on this subject, right? And then it will do it. It'll access everything it has, which right now is like 180 billion different points of reference, like a snapshot of the web, and it will pull it together. I can say, look at Dan Thurman. I could say, act as Dan Thurman and write weekly video coaching topics for the next 6 months, and it will write topics that I could then look at, and it won't be perfect, but it's a start. And then you can just say, hey, make it more, use metaphors, use this, use that, use bigger words.
It's going to use your content, so it's going to just be the same.
It would,
but it's got everything that was on the internet up through 2021. So anything 2022 and forward is not as of 3.0. But anyway, it's exciting and scary and fun.
It sounds like Iron Man Age of Ultron.
Yeah, it's totally that. Jarvis.
And I think we should learn from that.
Learn from Marvel. Probably so. In the meantime, the planes are all stopped this morning. I don't know what's going on with that and if they're back to flying normal routes, but I might be driving to Amelia Island tomorrow.
Where's that?
Near Savannah.
Coast of Georgia, beautiful
Oh,
little
that's not
island
bad.
town.
It's not too bad. If the flights are good, then I'll just continue flying. But otherwise, I have to drive to get there for my speech.
I'm in the process right now of purchasing a new pair of glasses without prescription in them.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Gearing up for your surgery?
Yeah, I've been so nervous for that. Like, actually, I've realized how stressed like my body's been lately because your body holds stress. And I was really confused. I was like, why? What's going on? And then I realized how nervous I am about getting LASIK.
When is that happening?
Monday.
And they do both eyes at the same time? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I don't like. Be like, let me have a break in between.
Wait, the whole thing takes like less than 10 minutes.
You're going to be amazed, honestly.
Who's taking you?
I don't know. I
I'll be in
have
Texas.
a few.
I'm sorry, I can't take you.
No, I have a few offers. I'm just vetting them, seeing who's going to be the best at vlogging this experience.
Who's going to take care of you when you're freaking out?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't even know if I'll be able to freak out with like the meds they give you.
Well, have you talked? You've talked to a number of people who've done it before, and you know the doctor. What part of it do you think is making you so nervous? Just the irreversibility?
No, just the functionality or just what physically is going to happen in this experience of me laying on a table and then holding open my eye and then cutting open my eye and then shooting a laser in it while I'm awake. I think that doesn't sit super well with me, if I'm being honest.
Well, I think they numb your eyes, so.
They do. It's not painful or anything, and
No.
I'm just worried about freaking out.
Yeah. You'll be
are.
fine.
You're
But
gonna
that's
do
why they
great.
give you Valium.
Just think, Mags, you know that trick that you use when you say 24 hours from now it'll all be over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes from now, I will be able to see better. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You'll get there. You'll get through it. It's the not knowing, the uncertainty that is making you freak out right now, but just keep going forward.
Yeah.
Unless you think it's a really bad idea.
No, I'm
kidding.
excited. I think it's going to be good. I already paid the down payment. There's no going back.
So I watched a play last night on my HD Broadway called The Portuguese Kid. Have you heard of it, Maggie?
No.
Jason Alexander. I can't believe I hadn't heard of this. It is brilliant. It is so funny. I definitely think I was watching it going like, oh my gosh, Maggie's got to see this. It's really funny. So just put that in your things to do. I love that sweater. That's
Thank
from
you.
your TikTok video.
It
it's so
is.
cool. When you put it on, I literally was like, oh, so excited. I'm like, I hope she brings that home and I get to wear it.
I'm very excited for it. Somebody did comment saying it looked like a little bit of a bath mat, and I can't unsee that. And it's completely fair. It's so fair.
That is fair, but it's the coolest bat mat, you've ever
It's like
Yeah.
a
gotten to
white,
wear.
as you're listening to the podcast, imagine a white textured garment, beautifully shaped, form-fitting, with a collar that's very puffy and little like white balls of like texture. It reminds me of there's a dog with that type of coat.
Shaggy dog?
No, it's one of the poodle type things. It's a little bit. It has a little poodle quality, poodle-esque quality to it.
I don't know. I think it's more of a bath mat.
Okay, and it also looks like bath mat. Yeah, there's that too.
I feel
I'm
like
a little. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say the vibes I get for it are very Ice Princess from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Yeah.
I wish I knew that reference. I just acted like I did, but I have no idea.
Same.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Shark Boy
I
Lava Girl. I've seen that so many times.
Totally.
I've got that whole thing memorized. Honestly, though, I'm a little bit out of it right now, Maggie. I'm a little tired. This speech that I did, this digital speech, it was recorded because they're actually going to show it a day that I'm on another speech. So anyway, so there's that environment of like recording something without an audience on the other end, which just takes so much more energy from me. And I got to thinking like it's kind of the difference, right, of being film versus theater. In theater, And even if it's digital theater, even if it's on camera with an audience out there, there's the whole mental state of knowing like you're in the moment, the audience is there, there's no turning back. You're like working without a net because whatever happens, happens. Everybody knows it's happening. And it's like there's no going backwards.
It's live.
Yeah, it's live. But when I'm filming something, then I've always like self-editing or thinking, could this be better? Or is that the right way I wanted to say it? And if I make a mistake, I want to stop. I did okay with that today.
Yeah, you did.
I did better than normal with that. But still, it took so much out of me that I actually fell asleep on a phone call today.
We won't say who he was talking to.
Did they know? Did they realize?
No, I mean,
eventually, perhaps.
Maybe. I was talking to a friend of mine. It wasn't a client or anything. It was just you
and one person.
Me and one person.
Oh man.
And I went to lunch by myself because Mom and Stephanie both had their own food. They had their leftover Chipotle. And so I came back from lunch and I was cold and I just want to lay down. And so I went and I laid down and I'm talking on the phone and I wasn't doing most of the talking anyway. And then there was this long pause. And then I realized I was still on a phone call and I might have fallen asleep. I was like, are you still there? Do I still have you?
Pretending like it's the
Pretending
phone.
Like the connection kind of went wobbly.
If you talk so much that the person on the other end can fall asleep and you keep going for quite a while, perhaps maybe you need to be
That's
aware of
not
the
fair.
other person.
I was overly tired. It was not on him.
You don't know how long you were sleeping either. Well, he does that to me regularly, but that's okay. I just laugh and take pictures of him.
Fall asleep mid-conversation?
Falling asleep during conversation or we're watching a show. Well, you've seen that, Maggie, plenty of times.
Oh my gosh, all the time.
Literally, like sometimes within 2 minutes of saying, no, I'm fine, let's watch something. And you put it on and all of a sudden you hear. It's like they're not even through the credits yet and he's already snoring.
Man.
It's pretty amusing.
I will say, though, I kind of understand that now. I caught myself doing that when we were at home watching Knives Out. I was like, yeah, I could sleep for 10 minutes, wake up, and I'll still be okay. Like, I'll still probably get the gist of what's going on. And so sometimes you make those decisions on what is most important in the moment, a little nap or paying attention.
I've actually heard stories
you're not driving.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard stories of parents with young children who go to movies specifically so they can take naps.
Oh, I do something so bad while driving, though. I don't even know if I should say this. It's not bad. Well, basically,
we'll be the judge.
You know how my car, a lot of cars, the passenger seat can do this, but the driver's seat can't. Where when you're putting it back, the driver's seat tends to be the mechanical one where it goes really slow back. And the passenger seat tends to be the one where you can lay back quickly. However, my driver's seat lays back quickly. And so sometimes this leads back into the first thing we talked about. When I'm at a stoplight or something, I'll put my foot on the brake, and I'll just lay completely back for like 10 seconds and get a good little stretch. and then I zoom back up and I continue on my ride.
That's not terrible.
Are you talking about at a stoplight or going down the highway 80 miles an hour?
At a stoplight, yeah.
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 That's good.
You know, my last Tesla update has a feature that I was like looking through, seeing what's what now. And you can actually set a little chime for a green light.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I have some friends who
and I do not
that.
text and drive, but people who do, I was just curious as to, I just wanted to see how it worked and whatever. And then I forgot about it in the first green light. It did a little ding. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That happened with a friend of mine. And every time I was in their Tesla, it's the same kind of noise that a Tesla makes when the Tesla's getting close to something. And so every time it dinged, I thought someone was about to hit us. I
didn't think it was, maybe my volume was down because I didn't think it was that aggressive. Like when something's going to hit you, that's pretty jolting.
It's just like a little ding.
Yeah.
The toast is ready. Time to go.
Yeah.
Elevator's here.
Time to drive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do. I do think about, though, when I'm at stoplights and I lay down, if anybody is in a car next to me looking, I fully look like Mr. Incredible on his way to the church when he gets changed.
Or Mr. Bean.
Yeah, Mr. Bean does weird stuff in his car. That's funny.
Oh, man. Well, that's great. I'm glad you're so resourceful, Mags.
Thanks. Just got to get that little stretch in. It's important. You know, a wise person recently told me that like a stretchy world is a happy world.
A stretchy world
like
is
a
ever.
really smart person.
Yeah.
Really
It could
weird,
be possible.
Smart person.
Yeah, take time to move. I just don't understand how people don't. Like when I feel the need to stretch, it becomes a priority. It's like if I don't address this right now, my leg's going to fall off. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe that's an exaggeration.
I don't think it would, but no, I've always said that too. I love a good stretch, and it makes me crazy when I'm having a good stretch, and all of a sudden you tickle me or something. It's just like, you just ruined that.
Just undid the
stretch, and you can't get it back.
You just associated stretching with fear.
Exactly.
You know how that one time I was tying my shoe and I happened to accidentally sneeze and I adjusted my whole back?
Yeah.
I was in this posture where I was bent over and I was tying my shoes. I was with Lee next to me, and
you were your knees were straight.
No, I was bending. I'd kind of like squatted my knees, and I was like relaxing, and then I happened to sneeze, and in that combination of motions, I adjusted my whole back. It was like a chiropractic adjustment.
Yeah.
And so since then, I kind of built this trigger in my mind of when I feel a sneeze coming on to kind of go into that position. And I learned how to do that. I know.
We've seen this.
Well, I've stopped doing it around people.
Well,
So
we
you
still
say.
see it all the time, so I don't know if that's true.
Not all the time. I never did it in
You don't
Italy.
even have laces on those shoes.
You're barefoot right now.
He's like, I gotta sneeze. I'm gonna tie my shoe.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. I'm a weirdo.
I'm still going through Italy withdrawal.
Really?
So, yeah. And so we watched Emily in Paris. It's the next best thing to being in Europe. Have you finished it?
Is it? I have.
You have?
I have.
And we will say no more about that.
And we will say no more. No spoilers. Nothing.
No spoilers.
Yeah, well, when I was back in LA, there was a few days when people weren't really back yet. Like, a lot of my friends weren't. And so I binged in the entire season 3 of Emily in Paris and then season 2 of Ginny and Georgia. And I finished both of those. And I was like, I need to leave my apartment. I need to not look at another screen. I need to go smell the grass.
Yeah.
But then it was a torrential downpour outside, so... What you gonna do?
You had a good excuse.
Yeah, I started reading a new book, and then within the first 3 pages of the book, I was like crying. I was like, this book is so sad. It's all about loss and grief, and I was like, I didn't sign up for this. I thought this was a silly little rom-com, and it's simply not.
Well, stick with it. It might change.
I don't know. It's called Love Interrupted.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds tragic.
Yeah, I didn't piece it together really, if I'm being honest.
Well,
you
keep
could
us posted.
read Plato, you know, and you and your dad can do book club as he reads Plato.
You could use Chat AI and say, write a romantic comedy in the style of Plato.
Oh no.
And it would do something. I'm just saying, it never says no. It just would start writing something, and it would probably be pretty hilarious. In fact, we should open Chat AI now and write this and see and just start reading it.
Well, I don't know
maybe
if many people know the style of Play-Doh.
That's
yeah,
true.
I don't know the style.
We
of
haven't
Play-Doh.
played with it since we were a kid.
But we know what it smells like.
And tastes like.
Man, I love that you guys giggled at that because none of my friends out here would probably.
They were deprived. They didn't know Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. Yes. Not Play-Doh, but Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Yes. Very clever. Very clever.
Thanks, guys.
Well, this has been a silly little podcast, somewhat entertaining and somewhat informative. And
I agree.
hopefully it's gotten you down the road in your life, wherever you happen to be right now. And if it's inspired an idea or a thought or a question that you would like to suggest, go to wholesomechaos.com and ask the question right there.
Yeah, I feel like today's episode has been very much a representation of where we're all at mentally today. And it's just, it's a silly little goofy episode. That's what it is.
A silly little goofy episode.
But at least we didn't fall asleep during it. That's good.
But thank you
Exactly.
guys so much for listening, and we hope to see you guys again next week. Love
Have a
you
great
guys.
week, everyone.
Love you.
Love you, Maggie. And we love you, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Mags and Dads, wholesome chaos. Mags and Dads, wholesome chaos.
Well, I hope you get a break in the rain to play pickleball very, very soon.
That's where I have to go right now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
We almost got through this podcast without saying pickleball. That's
so close.
All
I just
right.
got a new paddle. I gotta go. I gotta go try it.
Well, don't forget to stretch.
I won't. All right.